Outsmarting your enemies isn't about seeking revenge. It's about mastering your response with wisdom and grace. By staying calm and patient, you let karma deliver its justice. Your inner strength shines as you rise above petty conflicts, leaving your enemies to face the consequences of their actions. In the end, it's the universe that serves the final blow, not your retaliation. In the following points, we'll dive deeper into the law of karma, how outsmarting your enemies builds inner strength, and why embracing forgiveness is a crucial part of your journey. The law of karma, why your actions always come full circle. Building on the idea of outsmarting your enemies, it's important to recognize that karma is a universal force that holds power over everything. The actions you take, whether good or bad, eventually return to you. Karma doesn't always strike instantly, but it is relentless and inevitable. If you have outsmarted your enemies in a way that reflects your inner wisdom, rest assured, karma will eventually deliver what they deserve. Consider the story of Maya, a woman who had always been the target of workplace gossip and manipulation. Her colleagues often whispered behind her back, trying to undermine her efforts. At first, Maya felt betrayed and angered. However, instead of resorting to revenge or confrontation, she chose a different path. She focused on her work, treated everyone with kindness, and left the negativity behind. One day, an unexpected turn of events happened. Maya was offered a major promotion, one that her jealous coworkers had been vying for. The position was rightfully hers, but the way it unfolded was almost poetic. Karma had silently orchestrated the entire situation. Those who had tried to tear her down were left scrambling to explain why they had not been chosen for the role. Maya had outsmarted them not by fighting fire with fire, but by maintaining her integrity and allowing the universe to handle the rest. This is the power of karma. Its timing and precision are unmatched. It's a force that doesn't need us to intervene or take matters into our own hands. When we choose to act with integrity, to rise above the drama, and to remain true to ourselves, karma steps in to ensure that justice prevails. Think about it. How often have you witnessed someone who once wronged you eventually facing the consequences of their actions? The beauty of karma is that it doesn't require us to actively punish others. It works on its own time. Your enemies, those who thought they could outwit or hurt you, will eventually have to face their actions. And when they do, you'll be far beyond them, continuing to thrive and grow while they struggle with the weight of their own negativity. In your journey, whether you're dealing with betrayal, jealousy, or just the challenges that life throws at you, remember that karma doesn't forget. Stay patient and trust that your good intentions, your hard work, and your integrity will not go unnoticed by the universe. The lesson here is simple. The more you allow yourself to rise above the hate and the drama, the more the universe will reward you in ways you cannot even imagine. Let this be a reminder that karma is always at play, and the best way to outsmart your enemies is not to engage in petty battles but to live your truth, show kindness, and allow time to reveal the universe's perfect justice. The power of patience. Letting karma work its magic. As we continue on the path of understanding how karma works, one thing becomes clear. Patience is essential. The last point about letting karma handle your enemies shows us that taking matters into our own hands isn't necessary. It's the waiting, trusting, and allowing that makes the whole process so powerful. Patience isn't just a passive experience. It's an active force that requires deep self-control and faith in the universe. The longer you wait for justice to unfold, the stronger and more refined you become. Take the story of Anna, for instance. She was in a toxic relationship with a partner who consistently lied and manipulated her. For months, she struggled with the urge to confront him, to show him how much pain he had caused her. She wanted to expose his actions, to call him out on everything, but something inside her said, wait. Instead of reacting, Anna decided to focus on herself, working on her career, her health, and her personal growth. She poured her energy into becoming the best version of herself, slowly learning to detach from the drama and the hurt. As time passed, Anna's life flourished. She became more confident, more successful, and most importantly, more peaceful. Meanwhile, her ex-partner began to unravel. The lies he told started to catch up with him. His friends started distancing themselves, his professional reputation was damaged, and his deceitful behavior eventually led him to be exposed for his actions. What was truly remarkable about Anna's story wasn't just that karma came back for him, but that it happened because she had allowed the universe to do its work. She didn't take any actions to get revenge or expose him. She simply focused on herself, letting her patience allow karma to find its way. In life, we often want instant results. We want the wrongdoers to be punished right away. However, real power comes from the ability to let go and trust that the universe operates on its own timeline. Patience doesn't mean inaction. It means allowing your energy to flow in the right direction while karma works in the background, aligning everything the way it should be. Every moment spent focusing on bettering yourself is a step toward creating a life where you are not only free of negativity but where karma can truly bring balance. Think about it. Every time you are patient, you give the universe room to work its magic. You give it the space to sort things out, to bring things into alignment, and to make things right in ways that you might not even understand. Sometimes, waiting is the hardest part of the process, but it's also the most rewarding. When you stop trying to control outcomes and allow things to unfold as they are meant to, you'll be surprised by how much lighter, freer, and more fulfilled you feel. Karma doesn't need us to force things into place. It needs us to trust, wait, and let things evolve naturally. The more you embody patience, the more you will see how the universe rewards those who choose to let things flow instead of forcing their will on every situation. This kind of wisdom allows you to not only outsmart your enemies but also to step into a life that is truly aligned with your highest potential. The power of self-improvement. Strengthen yourself and watch karma do its job. As we explored in the previous point, patience is key when letting karma work its magic. But what happens while we wait? What can we do in the meantime to ensure that we're living our best lives? The answer lies in self-improvement. By focusing on ourselves, we not only elevate our lives but also create a space where karma has the perfect environment to deliver what we deserve. Let me tell you the story of Sarah, a woman who learned this truth the hard way. For years, she worked in a company where her colleagues constantly took credit for her ideas. Sarah, being a kind and humble person, never spoke up. Instead, she quietly accepted the injustice, thinking that one day, the truth would come out on its own. But after a while, she realized something important. Nothing was going to change unless she changed. Instead of waiting for karma to act on her behalf, Sarah decided to start improving herself. She took up new courses, developed skills that were valuable, and began to push her boundaries. Slowly, she became the go-to person in her office for solutions. She began presenting her ideas with confidence and authority, refusing to let others steal her spotlight. With each day, Sarah became stronger, not just in her career, but in her own belief in herself. As Sarah's growth continued, the universe started to take notice. Her colleagues who once overlooked her ideas began to feel threatened by her newfound power. One by one, they started to slip up. Their actions, once hidden in the shadows, began to surface in public. As they failed to deliver on their promises, Sarah's work began to shine brighter. Karma worked in subtle ways, pulling people out of her way without her lifting a finger. One day, Sarah's boss called her into his office and asked her to lead a major project, a project that she had been secretly working on for months. Her colleagues who had once taken her work for granted now looked to her for guidance. Sarah had outgrown the people and the situation that once held her back. Karma had done its job, but it was her commitment to self-improvement that created the space for it to happen. Self-improvement isn't just about learning new skills or achieving success in your career. It's about becoming a stronger, more confident person. When you focus on yourself, you stop giving power to the wrongdoers and start giving power to yourself. You stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for strength. The beauty of this transformation is that karma doesn't need to be forced. It will naturally align with the person you're becoming. Every moment you spend working on yourself, whether it's improving your physical health, emotional well-being, or professional skills, is a moment that prepares you for the rewards that the universe has in store. By focusing on your growth, you create the best possible environment for karma to bring justice, healing, and abundance into your life. So, remember this, When you focus on bettering yourself, you're not just waiting for karma to do its job. You're giving it the tools it needs to work in your favor. The stronger you become, the more you align yourself with the flow of the universe. And when that happens, the results are more extraordinary than you could ever imagine. Trust the process. Let karma deliver what's rightfully yours. Following our previous point on how self-improvement sets the stage for karma to act, there's an essential element to all of this that often gets overlooked: trusting the process. We all want results, and we want them now. The truth is, trusting the process is a huge part of allowing karma to unfold the way it's meant to. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't happen on our timeline, but the power of trust is what makes the waiting period transformative. Consider the story of Jake, who was constantly overlooked in his career despite his relentless hard work. Every year, he poured his heart into projects, working late nights, going above and beyond, yet his ideas and contributions were rarely acknowledged. Jake began to doubt himself. He felt betrayed by the system and frustrated that no matter how hard he worked, success seemed just out of reach. But one day, during a quiet moment of reflection, Jake had an epiphany. His efforts were never wasted, and karma had a way of working when the time was right. He realized that the frustrations he felt weren't signs of failure. They were tests of his faith in the process. Instead of pushing harder for recognition, Jake decided to step back and trust that his work would eventually speak for itself. Jake embraced the idea of letting things flow. He focused more on his personal development and on doing his best without seeking immediate rewards. He stayed committed to his projects and, most importantly, he stopped comparing his journey to others. He trusted that everything would fall into place, even if it wasn't happening as fast as he wanted. Months passed, and one day, Jake's boss called him in for an impromptu meeting. To his surprise, he was offered a leadership role in a major project. His boss had been quietly observing Jake's work ethic, dedication, and commitment to excellence. Others who had once overshadowed him were now slipping under the radar. Karma was at work. Jake's trust in the process had led him to this breakthrough. Trusting the process doesn't mean you're sitting idle, waiting for things to magically happen. It means believing in the natural unfolding of life. It's about knowing that the universe, or karma, has a timing that's more perfect than anything we could plan. Yes, we still need to take action to improve and to strive for the things we want, but we also need to trust that our efforts will align with our ultimate destiny. When we let go of the need for immediate results and stop forcing outcomes, we create space for miracles to happen. The lesson from Jake's story is clear. When you trust the process, you surrender control over the outcome. You allow things to unfold as they should, knowing that karma is working behind the scenes to bring you exactly what you deserve. It's easy to get discouraged when progress seems slow, but remember that every step you take is a part of the larger picture. Trust the timing. Trust the journey. Trust that karma will deliver what's rightfully yours at the right moment. So, if you're in a season of waiting, take a deep breath and trust the process. Let go of any fears or doubts and allow karma to do its magic. The universe is always working for you, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Embrace patience and release your need for control, as we've already explored. Trusting the process is a crucial part of allowing karma to work its magic in our lives. But there's another essential element that ties into this: patience. When we try to control everything around us, we only create resistance. Karma works best when we relinquish the need for control and allow time to unfold in its own way. The most powerful thing you can do is let go. Take the story of Sarah, a talented artist whose work had never been recognized. She spent years striving for the approval of others, entering competitions, showcasing her art, and even chasing after opportunities. However, she never received the recognition she thought she deserved. The more she pushed, the further away success seemed to get. She began to question if her dreams would ever come true. One evening, Sarah found herself alone in her studio, feeling defeated and exhausted from the constant struggle. In that moment of frustration, she realized that the harder she tried to control her fate, the more resistance she felt from the world. She'd been so focused on external validation and control that she had forgotten why she started painting in the first place: to create and to express herself. That night, Sarah made a choice to let go of the need for control. She didn't stop creating, but she stopped trying to force outcomes. She allowed herself to be immersed in her art without worrying about the reactions of others. Sarah also began to focus more on enjoying the process rather than chasing the result. She stopped entering competitions and started painting for the joy it brought her. Months later, Sarah's work was noticed by a gallery curator who had been following her on social media for some time. She was invited to hold her first solo exhibition, something she had once thought impossible. Sarah's breakthrough came only after she released her grip on control and allowed things to happen organically. The universe, or karma, took care of the rest. The key takeaway here is that patience allows room for growth. When we try to control every detail, we prevent ourselves from truly receiving what we're meant to have. The timing may not align with our desires, but it always aligns with what we need. There are moments when the world is telling us to slow down and wait. If we choose to trust the timing of life instead of fighting against it, we're rewarded with the right opportunities at the right moment. It's natural to want things now, to crave instant gratification, to see immediate results. But sometimes the most beautiful things take time. Just as Sarah's success came when she let go, you too will find that your greatest achievements often come after periods of patience. The universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning everything perfectly for you. But it's up to you to release control and allow the magic to unfold. So embrace patience. Trust that the right things are coming to you at the right time. Let go of your need for control and allow karma to show you how perfectly everything is falling into place. Your destiny isn't something you can rush. It's something you must allow to unfold naturally. Let go and trust that what's meant for you will never pass you by. Trust in your own growth and evolution as we've explored. Releasing control and embracing patience allows the universe to work in your favor. But there's another vital piece to this puzzle: trusting in your own growth. Growth is not always linear, and it's often easy to get discouraged when we don't see immediate results. The key to harnessing the power of karma is in trusting that every step you take, no matter how small, is a part of your greater evolution. Take the story of James, a man who was struggling with his career. Despite his hard work and dedication, he felt stuck. Every promotion he sought seemed just out of reach, and his colleagues were rising faster than he was. James started to feel like he was running in place, putting in all the effort but seeing little reward. Doubts crept in, and he wondered if his hard work would ever pay off. One day, James decided to take a step back. He remembered a conversation he'd had with a mentor years ago, who had told him that growth happens in phases, and sometimes you don't realize how far you've come until you look back. Reflecting on those words, James realized that even though things hadn't unfolded as quickly as he'd hoped, he had gained new skills, expanded his network, and grown in his understanding of his field. But more importantly, he had become more self-aware. He now recognized his strengths and weaknesses. It was in that moment of self-realization that he understood something profound. His journey was never just about the destination. It was about the transformation he was undergoing, the person he was becoming. With this understanding, James found himself more at peace with where he was. Rather than getting frustrated by the lack of external validation, he focused on his internal growth. He made a conscious decision to keep learning, to keep evolving, and to trust that his efforts would lead to something bigger. A few months later, an unexpected opportunity came his way. A company he had worked with in the past reached out to offer him a position, one that was far more rewarding than he had imagined. What he didn't realize at the time was that his patience and trust in his growth had prepared him for this exact moment. All the hard work, learning, and self-discovery had come together to create the perfect opportunity. Karma had, in its own mysterious way, orchestrated this outcome. The lesson here is simple yet powerful. Growth is not always visible at first. Just because you don't see immediate changes doesn't mean you're not progressing. Trust that every lesson, every failure, and every triumph is adding to your personal evolution. The universe works behind the scenes to align you with the right experiences that will nurture your growth. The more you trust yourself, the more you allow yourself to evolve into the person you are meant to be. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You are constantly learning, improving, and transforming. This journey may take time, but with each step, you are closer to becoming the highest version of yourself. Sow trust in your own growth, believe in the power of patience, and allow karma to work its magic on your behalf. Your evolution is inevitable, and it's more beautiful than you can imagine. Keep going, you are becoming everything you've ever wanted to be. Hey, amazing soul, glowing star, if you found inspiration or even just a spark of positivity in this video, please take a second to hit that like button. It truly helps us spread this message of growth and enlightenment to more people like you. Sparkling heart sparkles also, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and let us know how you're trusting the process and embracing your own journey of transformation. Your stories and opinions matter, and they could inspire others who are on a similar path. Seedling, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. There's so much more wisdom, love, and motivation waiting for you to discover. Let's keep growing together. You're not alone on this journey. Rainbow Dizzy, thank you for being part of this incredible community. Sending you love and light always. Sparkling heart.